Welcome to our Standard 7 Science. We're going to look at Unit 3, that's talking about the environment. First of all, we are going to define the term environment. What is the meaning of the word environment? Environment refers to all things that surrounds a living organism. All things that surrounds a living organism, that is the meaning of the word environment. All the things that surrounds you are your environment. So, the environment comprises of both living and non-living things. If you can look around your area, you can see some things which are living and some of the things are non-living things. The living part of the environment is made up of plants and animals. The living part of the environment comprises of the plants and animals. What about the non-living part of the environment? It comprises of air, soil, and water. Air, soil, and water. So we have said that environment refers to all the things that surround living organisms. We have the living part of the environment and the non-living part of the environment. We have said that the living part comprises of animals and plants. What about the non-living part of the environment? It comprises of water, air, and soil. In soil, we can talk about land. So we can see that we have 5 major components of the environment. We have the animals, plants, water, air, and soil. So we're going to look at the essentials of water. What does water help us in our environment? Let's talk about water. Water is very essential to all living things, that is plants and animals. Water is a very important component for both plants and animals. Water is found in different forms. Water is found in different forms. We have said we have water. It is found in different forms. You can say forms of water. Water can be found in the form of dew, vapor, snow, and in form of rain. What does water help us? What does water help us? Water is very important to all living things. All plants need water for their growth. What about animals? All the animals, human beings and other animals, they depend on water. And let's look at number 2, that is soil. That is soil or land. Soil is very important to both plants and animals. Why do we say like that? For plants, they absorb water and mineral salts from the soil. Plants absorb water and mineral salts from soil. Mineral salts from soil. we grow our crops in the soil. Soil is a home for some animals, for example, earthworms, moths, and termites. Soil is a home for earthworms, moths, and termites. We should therefore conserve soil and protect it from pollution. Let's look at air as a component of the environment. What is air? Air is a mixture of gases. We have different types of gases. We have nitrogen gas, nitrogen, oxygen. We have carbon dioxide. We have carbon monoxide. There are many different types of gases in the air, and these different gases, they have different importances. For example, if we can talk about oxygen, we depend on oxygen. We human beings depend on oxygen for survival. We breathe in oxygen and we give out carbon dioxide, which is very essential to plants. And the plants majorly depend on carbon dioxide during the process of photosynthesis. That is when they are making their own food. What about the other gases? The other gases are very important also. For example, leguminous plants, e.g. beans, peas, desmodium, convert nitrogen in the nodules into nitrate, which is a plant protein. What are nodules? If you uproot a bean plant, you can see some small ball-like structures in the roots. Those are called nodules. That's why we have been told that leguminous plants convert nitrogen in the nodules into nitrate, which is a plant protein. What about plants as a component of the environment? Plants are a major source of food for animals. Plants are a major source of food for animals. Source of food for animals. We know that all animals do not make their own food, but plants do. Plants make their own food, but animals do not make their own food. So the plants are very essential to us and to other animals because we majorly depend on the plants for food. Animals do not make their own food. They fully depend on plants for food. Plants give out oxygen during photosynthesis. The oxygen is then used by animals. Let's look at animals as a component of the environment. Animals are found in different habitats in the environment. Animals are found in different habitats in the environment. Some live in air. Some animals live in the air. Some animals live in the soil. And some on dry land. For example, fish live in water, but human beings do not live in water. They live on dry land. What about the termites, earthworms, moths? They live in the soil. Food from plants, food that we get from the plants is majorly used by the animals. What about manure? Most of the domestic animals, for example cows, goats, sheep, their waste is being used as manure in our farms. The animals give out carbon dioxide, which is used by plants during photosynthesis. So we have seen that all these major components of the environment depend on each other in different ways. We have other components of the environment, but they are not major. For example, other components, but they are not major. We have heat, we have sound, and light. These are the components of the environment, but they are not major. Thank you for listening to me. Welcome next time. Remember to subscribe, like, share, and comment on my YouTube channel, which is Progress TV channel. Thank you.